welcome to Craft Little Things. I'm Andrea and I'm going to be doing the second Positively Papercraft sketch challenge today. I seem to be Positively crafting a lot at the minute. I'm trying to catch up on things. I'm just trying to find the sketch to show you. Here it is. So that's the sketch. Pretty straightforward. It's a landscape. It's got some little banner type things sticking down. There's sort of 8 little strips, different sizes and shapes. Mine aren't actually. And then a sentiment strip across the middle. And of course the challenge this month is to make a male and female appropriate card using the same sketch. So for this all you need is a bone folder, some dimensionals and some glue, or if you prefer to use tape. And then you need 2 card blanks. So for each card I'm using a white card base, and these measure just over 4 by just under 6 inches. And then for each one what I'm using is wooden texture, a wooden print DSP, which is from Wood Textures by Stampin' Up. For the female one I'm using a lighter wood, and for the male one I'm using a darker wood, a little bit more gnarly, and these measure 3.5 by 5.5 inches. And then for each one I've got a strip. This has come from the papers for the feminine one have come from you know, I checked these before I started and my mind's gone an absolute blank as usual. Let me just check what it's called. These have come from, and I know when I see it I'm gonna kick myself because it's one of the most popular ones ever. Share What You Love, yeah. So that's from Share What You Love, and I've just got a strip of that purple, and on the back it's got the flowers, which I've used my 8 little pieces. Now that strip measures 1 inch by 6 inches. I'm just going to fold it around the edges or trim it off. And then for my little strips I've just made them 1 inch by 2 inches, and I've just cut them the little point out the end. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. For this one, the male one, I've used Tranquil Textures, and I've used this green for that, and I've used a couple of different papers from the same stack to make my little tabs, exactly the same as I made those. They're 2 by 1 inch. And then for the male one I've just used the tailored tag punch, and I've just punched out a couple of this design for a background, and then onto white I've just stamped using Tranquil Tide. I stamped the word thanks, and that's from Thankful Thoughts stamp set, and I've just dipped the edges in the ink. For the female one I've used a backing of the same wood, and I've used a pretty label punch for this one. I've done 2 of those, and I've done a white one, and I've just stamped it in Berry Burst and edged it off the same. That's it. So these aren't difficult to do. If you look at the sketch though, these little tabs were different sort of widths and lengths and stuff, and mine aren't. I didn't look at the sketch very well, so I'm just going to do mine as I see fit. So my paper doesn't come quite to the bottom of my card, as you can see. There's a bit of a gap, and I did that on purpose just so that these sort of show up a little bit more at the bottom. So it's up to you whereabouts you pop your strip, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my wood effect paper quite close up, so I've got the same sort of gap, about 1/4 inch all around, and then I'm going to bring that up about there. Yeah, so I'm going to pop that on there. So I'll just tell you in measurements where that goes. So the top end of that goes at 1.5. Okay, so I'm just going to glue that. No, I'm not. I'm not going to glue that at all, because what I want to do is stick all these down first. So if I kind of lay it like this, so that I can see where 1.5 is, then I know that all of these need to go below that 1.5. So I'm going to stick these on at sort of where my 2-inch mark is here. So I've got 2 inches here. So all my bits are going to stick below that. And I'm just going to alternate the pattern. Now you can, if you want, make them thinner than each other or thicker than each other. Just want to make sure these go below the 2-inch, and then I'm going to go for a floral one next. Just cross them over, maybe just lift that one up a bit higher and just stick them on. A bit lower. And just alternate them a little bit higher. That one a bit lower. And then I'm going to take that one quite high and let that stick out a little bit. So once that's on my card, see they're all fitting on. That one might just need trimming off a little bit, so it's not overhanging the card, but it doesn't matter, it's up to you. When it's overhang the card, it can do. And so then I'll just cover that up with that strip. So I'll just put my glue on. Like I said, put my strip about 1.5 inches away. If you've got a desk pad like this, you can measure that off. Where's my scissors gone? I have to commit a carnal sin here, and what I'm doing is I'm just trimming off those bits of card that are overlapping, because those bits of DSP that are overlapping, because obviously you don't want it to hang over the side of your card. And now that can go onto my card. I'm just going to glue the back of the big piece of DSP. Ignore my dog whimpering in the background. He wants biscuits. And then we'll just stick that on. And then we'll just take this back in, put a little bit of glue on one half of it, and just stick those together. Just overlap them a little bit. And then with this one, I'm just going to get a couple of dimensionals and stick them on the back. And pop that just so you can see it's slightly overlapping. And then I'm going to glue that on flat to there. And that's just a thank you card. Now, because it's for a lady, if you want, you could stick a flower or something on there, but I'm just keeping it very simple, true to the sketch. If you don't like this showing through, you could always trim it off, but I quite like it. So that's that one. And now we do the mail card in exactly the same way, just to show you how to do the little flag bits, the little pointy bits. All you do is, if this is your inch piece of paper, just, you can mark the middle if you want, or you can just do it by eye. Just cut up the middle and then just cut from the sides up to there. And that's it. Simple as that. If you want it to be precise, measure sort of 1/2 inch into the middle and then 1/2 inch up each side, and just make little marks. What's wrong, Vernon? Right, so we'll do the same with this one then, to make the masculine or the male card. Some men would be quite happy to receive that card though. It's a bit stereotypical sometimes when we assume. So with this one then, we'll do the same thing. So I'm going to sort of stick them below the 2-inch mark. I quite like the patination on that, so I'm going to put that at the top so we can see it. And then I'm going to alternate these, so the blue and the green. And this time I'm going to bring them down a little bit. More. Have them a bit straighter. With the edges, just to, I'm going to bring them down so they come to the edge of that. But I'm doing exactly the same thing, just alternating them. The green and the blue. If you run out of space, don't worry about it. Just leave it at that. And then I'm going to just get the strip and put that across. Again at the 1.5-ish mark. And then just use my embroidery scissors, because I still don't know where my paper scissors are. I've got loads of paper scissors as well, but I don't know where any of them are. And I'm just going to trim all of that off so it sits on the card. And then I'm just going to try to pick it up. I'm not going to glue the little strips because I want them to sort of be flapping. Pop that up there. I'm going to stick it up so that everything's on the white card. And then I'm going to take these two shapes and do exactly what I did with the other one. Just put a bit of glue at the bottom of one of them and just overlap them slightly, and then get some dimensionals, pop them on the back. You'll see on the back of my sentiments there's stamped as well, because that's where I practice. And then just pop that on. Put some glue on the back, so we're going to stick it on flat. And then we're just going to stick everything down there. This one I've stuck right at the edge. This one I left a little bit of a gap. I think I prefer the one with a bit of a gap. But that's it. There we go. That's like that card's suitable to send to a chap. There's no flowers, there's no bling on it, there's no glitter. It's nice and straightforward, quite masculine, bold colours. And that's more of a feminine version to send to a lady. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's pretty straightforward. If you want to take part in the Positively Papercraft challenge, then it's open until the end of the month. And if you want to just come along and get some inspiration for some male themed cards, a lot of people struggle with male themed cards, then come along and see what people are doing. I'll link everything below. I'll link the group below. In fact, I'll share a link direct to the album as well, because some people find it difficult to find for some reason. So there we go.